The 2000s were packed with bands that sounded like the future. Then, poof, they were gone. Tonight, we're digging up 15 acts who lit up the decade and vanished without a trace. No reunions hype, no nostalgia fog, just the real story. The one big song, the sudden silence, and the twist that made it all fall apart. You'll hear how label drama, burnout, tragic turns, and changing trends took out groups that should have ruled the charts. As we count down, ask yourself, which band did you think was about to be huge? Drop your pick in the comments so we can shout you out in the next episode. If you love deep dive pop history with zero fluff, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and let's roll. Because some of these names will hit your memory like a hook you haven't heard in years. They sounded like a dream you only half remember. Soft focus guitars, big open space, and that talk mood. The Open came out of Liverpool with 1 foot in classic British indie and 1 foot in widescreen art rock. Their second album, Statues, arrived in early 2006. The single, We Can Never Say Goodbye, felt like a farewell letter even before anyone knew what was coming. A few months later, the band posted a statement. It was over. No big scandal, no public fight, just a quiet end at the moment the music was getting deeper. Fans still talk about how those songs hinted at a longer arc that never happened. If you loved the way 2000s indie tried to sound bigger than a club, this is a band to revisit. Start with We Can Never Say Goodbye, then go back to the silent hours for the early spark. Question: did you hear the Open back then, or are you discovering them now?
Hey Pop Lore family! Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
This story is brilliant music shadowed by real loss. During the recording of their debut, guitarist James "Jimmy" Lawrence died in 2004. The band pushed on, releasing powerful orchestral post-rock that felt like a memorial and a rallying cry at the same time. Sing It Out, from 2006, reached the UK Top 40 and sounded like a band trying to turn grief into light. But the weight never fully lifted. After their second album later that year, they called it a day. Only in recent years have they begun resurfacing for select reunion activity, which tells you how much unfinished love still surrounds these songs. If you like strings, tension, and catharsis in the same 4 minutes, this is your lane. Question: where do you hear Hope of the States sit? Closer to post-rock or to the dramatic Brit indie of the mid-2000s? Nervy, fast, and funny, the Rakes captured the sound of fluorescent office lights and last tubes home. 22 Grand Job is 2 minutes of post-punk sprinting, pure 2005 energy. For a while they looked set. 3 albums, constant touring, a loyal crowd. Then, overnight, it stopped. In October 2009, days before a UK tour, the band announced their split and canceled everything, saying they couldn't give 100% anymore. No slow fade, just a clean, sudden cut. That's why the myth sticks. It felt like someone yanked the plug mid-song. Replay 22 Grand Job. Do you hear it as a time capsule of indie disco floors? Or does it still punch as hard in 2025? What's your favorite sub-2-minute anthem from that era? Dublin trio JJ72 arrived with sky-high melodies and Mark Graney's haunting glass-edge voice.
Children go cursing at their own cause.
Snow gave them their first real chart presence in 2001, and 2 albums followed, JJ72, Gold in the UK, and Eye to Sky. The promise was real and visible. But label battles drained momentum. On June 22, 2006, JJ72 announced they were splitting, citing record company issues. A planned third album never properly surfaced. For a band built on big feelings, the ending felt small and administrative. Paperwork instead of pyrotechnics. Go back to Snow and Oxygen. You'll hear how early 2000s radio could have carried them even further with different breaks. Question: which JJ72 song do you think should have been the global hit? Sharp guitars, sharper wit. The Long Blondes were the cool kids of Sheffield indie. Kate Jackson tossing barbed one-liners while the band married art pop to dance floor tempos. Giddy Stratospheres is the calling card. First a cult 7-inch, then a top 40 re-release in 2007 as they hit the majors. Then tragedy of a different kind. Guitarist and chief songwriter Dorian Cox suffered a stroke in 2008. If you love clever lyrics that still make you move, play Giddy Stratospheres, then the album Someone to Drive You Home. Question: are the Long Blondes the most should-have-been huge band of their class? Or do you give that title to someone else? If you wanted the 2000s to sound dangerous and expensive at the same time, you went to the Cooper Temple Claws. They were the rare British band that could slam industrial noise into widescreen melodies without losing the hook. Promises, Promises is their knife-edge anthem. Clipped guitars, siren synths, and a vocal that sounds like a threat whispered in your ear. The single landed in 2003 as they were pushing toward bigger stages and bolder production, but the momentum didn't last. If you've ever loved bands who try to make the floor shake and the ceiling lift at the same time, cue this one up tonight. Question: when you hear Promises, Promises, do you file it under alt-rock, electro-rock, or something we still don't have a name for? Susie sprinted into mid-2000s radio like a light-up sneaker. Pure bounce, instant chorus, and a keyboard line that felt purpose-built for indie disco floors. The Leytonstone 4-piece looked like lifers, reading and lead slots, an NME tour run, top 20 singles, and a debut album Civilian that hit number 16 in the UK. But the follow-up Stars and the Sea didn't connect the same way, and by October 2008, they confirmed the split, signing off on MySpace like so many 2000s bands did. Years later, they reunited briefly for 2 sold-out London shows, proof that the song never left people's heads. If you were around when this hit, you can probably still hum the chorus on command. Question: was Susie a perfect single caught in the wrong trend cycle, or a preview of a lane the band never got to fully explore? Seattle bands aren't supposed to dance like this. Pretty Girls Make Graves fused post-punk angles to a drummer who played like the floor was on fire. This Is Our Emergency is their mission statement. Alarms going off, guitars zigzagging, Andrea Zolo's voice cutting through the chaos. They built a cult by never playing it safe across 3 releases, then called time with a clear, unflinching note on 29th of January 2007, farewell shows that June at home, and lights out. In a decade full of revivalists, they sounded like the present tense. Spin the track and listen for the way the beat keeps pulling you forward, even as the guitars slam on the brakes. Question: who carried their torch best? Dance punk bands or the art school indie kids who came after? This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. A Liverpool gang who put punk posture on a dub chassis. The dead 60s were crate diggers with sharp elbows. Riot Radio is their calling card. Sirens, Skank, Snap. Released first in 2004 and reissued in 2005 as the band became a fixture on festival lineups and US alt radio. The song even wound up in Nick and Nora's Infinite playlist, which tells you how far their sound traveled during the decade of iPods and indie film. Then, just as quickly, a press release in February 2008, they'd called it a day. Listen back now and you can hear the through line from UK ska revivals to post-punk funk to the remix culture that defined the mid-2000s. Question: does Riot Radio hit you more as a punk single with dub seasoning or a dub track with a punk haircut? Montreal gave the 2000s several mood architects. The stills were among the most cinematic. Still in Love Song floats like neon reflecting on wet pavement, melancholy guitar lines, heartbeat drums, and a chorus that sounds bigger than the club it's playing in. Their debut Logic Will Break Your Heart became a cult favorite, the kind of album fans defend at 2 a.m. in comment sections. After a decade together and 3 LPs, they announced an amicable split in April 2011, posting an open letter that felt like friends saying goodbye after the after party. If you want to understand the post-Interpol, pre-streaming moment when indie aimed for widescreen romance, start here. Question: which track on Logic Will Break Your Heart defines that era for you? This one or a deeper cut?
You just said,
Detroit gave the 2000s a wild garage rock wave, and the Bondies rode right in the middle of it. Come On is 2 minutes of spark plugs, tight drums, a guitar riff that snaps like a switch, and a shout-along hook you can't shake. It was their biggest single, cut for Pawnshop Heart and produced with ex-Talking Heads member Jerry Harrison. Radio, TV, video games, even a TV theme picked it up. But the lift didn't last. After one more album in 2009, the group called time. Frontman Jason Stolzheimer confirmed the band was done, and they officially disbanded in 2011. They later reformed in 2020, but the original arc had already closed. Play it again and listen for how clean the structure is. Intro that hits fast, verse that barely breathes, and a chorus that lands like a punchline. Question: when you think 2000's guitar anthem, does this sit beside the Hives and the White Stripes for you, or in its own lane? Here's the postcard pop of the early 2000s. Dublin kids dreaming in California colors. Big Sur is sunshine on tape, jangling guitars, tambourine lift, and a melody that glides like Highway 1.
Down at the Steamboat Show.
They had 3 albums in 4 years and serious festival energy. Then the industry winds turned. After Teenager underperformed, EMI dropped them in 2008, and the band slid into an indefinite hiatus rather than a dramatic breakup. What makes Big Sur stick is the feel, wistful and bright at the same time. It's a song about chasing distance that still feels close. Question: do you hear the thrills as heirs to 60s West Coast pop, or as early Ozarens indie trying to escape the rain? Leeds, mid-decade, that new rave moment where guitars and dance beats shared the same sweaty room. The Sunshine Underground gave that scene one of its sharpest singles. Put You in Your Place rides an elastic bass line and a vocal that pushes you to the front of the crowd. They kept evolving, from indie dance to more electronic textures across 4 albums, then drew a clear line under the story. Farewell album Luminescent, and a split in 2016. They've since teased a one-off reunion for summer 2026. Proof the spark never fully died. Listen to how the drums and bass do the lifting. The guitars are accents, like neon around the edges. Question: which UK indie dance single from 2005-2007 still pulls you to your feet in 2 bars? Before Fun exploded, Nate Roos was writing clever, aching pop with Sam Means as the format. The first single, You Know Me, is pure earworm, hand claps, a chorus that feels like an old friend, and lyrics that turn heartbreak into a sing-along.
The people I have left behind, 'cause what's the point?
Then, in February 2008, the duo pressed pause and announced an indefinite hiatus. 12 years later to the day, they surprised fans with reunion shows. Tickets vanished instantly, only for the pandemic to knock everything off the calendar. They finally made it back to a stage in 2025.
Make a list of who we need, but it's not much if...
What you hear in this track is craft, dynamics, bridges that actually go somewhere, and melodies that stick without shouting. Question: is this the best should-have-been huge pop single of the 2000s? Or do you crown something off Dog Problems?
Hey, Pop Lore family! Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
A perfect TV sync can change a band's life. California didn't just sell a record, it became a cultural postcard when the OC used it as its theme. Suddenly, a moody road trip song was everywhere. The single broke across Europe, top 10 in several countries, and turned Phantom Planet into a name even your non-music friends knew. Then came the quiet fade, lineup shifts, an indefinite hiatus in late 2008, and long stretches of silence before a reunion and a 2020 album, Devastator. That arc, flash of fame, long hush, careful return, fits our countdown story. Sometimes the song lives a bigger life than the band can carry in the moment. Enjoy the ride, records. Listen for the details. The lift in the pre-chorus, the way the drums bloom under "We've Been on the Run." Question: when you hear California, do you picture the show first or your own first road out of town? The journey doesn't end here, pop lovers. Watch this next.